Hi guys, this video is going to demonstrate how to light a Refleks diesel stove. Those of you who are subscribed to my little channel have probably noticed that during the last week or so I've had some issues with my stove. And sure, that's been frustrating and annoying, but it's important to point out that every single time I've been in contact with Refleks, they've been extremely forthcoming and very friendly. I simply couldn't imagine getting a better customer support anywhere. So yesterday I took the stove out of the boat and I drove down to visit the guys at Refleks. They took a look at the stove and they found a fault in the regulator that kept it from shutting off the fuel supply to the stove in a way it's supposed to do. So they took apart the regulator and I actually got to watch that, and that was very fascinating. And they cleaned it and tested it thoroughly and recalibrated it. And yesterday I actually ran the stove for 45 minutes without experiencing any kind of problems. So today I want to see if I can run it for several hours without encountering any issues. Meanwhile, I can get started on the next project. But that's a separate video. For now I just want to show how to light the stove. Okay, the first step is to remove the cooktop, and I've already done that. The second step is to add 50 milliliters of alcohol. The third step is to light a match and throw it down into the stove. Then you can go ahead and put the cooktop back on. Now we're going to wait for the stove to heat up before we allow any diesel to enter the burn chamber. This is what the stove looks like after about 2 minutes. You can see that the flames are blue and that the stove is heating up nicely. Okay, it's been 5 minutes now. Let's go ahead and allow some diesel to enter the burn chamber. We need to open the valve on the regulator. Switch the regulator to position number 1. It's been 10 minutes since I switched on the diesel and the stove is performing perfectly. By shining a light into the little window I can actually see that there is a very small amount of diesel in the burn chamber, and judging by the amount of diesel I saw dripping from the regulator yesterday when the guys at Refleks tested it, that appears to be perfect. The stove has been on for over 5 hours now, and I haven't experienced a single issue, nor is there any sign of soot on the window. I think it's safe to say that the guys at Refleks fixed the regulator. I absolutely love the stove and I think it's an awesome addition to my little boat. If you're anything like me, you spend a lot of time searching YouTube for awesome sailing related channels. Of course there are the larger channels that most of us know about, like Cruising Layer and Curtis West Sail. I've found several much smaller but really awesome channels, and I'd like to mention 2 of them. The first one is Life is Like Sailing. It's run by Alfie, who lives aboard his boat in Canada. He does awesome videos related to sailing and boat maintenance and living aboard. The second one is Kcal. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I'm so sorry. But his plan is to build a 50-foot monohull sailboat, and I'm very excited to get to follow his progress. I'll put links in the description for both of them. That's it for now, guys. As always, feel free to leave a comment. I absolutely love those, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe.